Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would appear as if the Democrats are gearing up to impeach President Trump not just one more time, but 7 more times. And no, I'm not joking. Now, as you all know, President Trump has already received not one, but two completely bogus and inconsequential impeachments, and so now the Democrats want to give him another 7 because, the first two worked out so well for them. You see, the most incompetent Democratic representative in the entire country, a guy named Representative Shri Thanadar, has just filed these 7 articles of impeachment against President Trump. But you know what? Rather than hearing about all of this from me, why don't you take a look at what none other than Representative Thanadar has to say for himself? Take a look.
This is Congressman Shri Thanadar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump, outlining 7 articles of impeachment.
So you hear that, folks? Like I said earlier, Representative Shri Thanadar doesn't just want to impeach President Trump once. No, he wants to do it 7 times. And why does he want to do this? Well, because President Trump deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an illegal immigrant from El Salvador, back to his home country of El Salvador. Oh yeah, and by the way, in case you forgot, Kilmar Abrego Garcia isn't just some random illegal immigrant. No, Mr. Garcia has been confirmed to be a member of the cartel terrorist organization MS-13, not by one but by 2 American immigration courts, by the Department of Homeland Security, and even by the government of El Salvador. And just to make things even worse, his own wife took out a protective order against him for being physically abusive. And then, on top of all of that, in 2022, Garcia was pulled over while driving a vehicle that belonged to a convicted human trafficker. And so this is the guy, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the MS-13 gang member illegal immigrant, that Representative Shri Thanadar thinks is worth impeaching President Trump over. And not just 1 time, but 7 times. It is absolutely insane and delusional. Now, folks, we have a lot more to talk about here today, but before we move on to that, I want to say real quick that if you guys enjoy the daily news updates, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you all already know, over the last couple years, the Democrats have already thrown the kitchen sink at President Trump. For years, they tried to push the Russian collusion hoax. They impeached him once, and then they impeached him again. Then they weaponized the Department of Justice to raid his house at Mar-a-Lago. Then they slapped him with 34 bogus felonies. And you know what? None of it worked. The American people see right through all of it. We support President Trump because he fights for all of us Americans here in America, not for the radical globalists, not for the progressive left, not for the cartel gang members, and most certainly not for the swamp creatures in Washington, D.C. So given all of that, I really have no idea why the Democrats would think that impeaching him another 7 times is going to accomplish anything. He already won the election in a massive landslide mandate. He's already back in the White House. It's like the Democrats are stuck skipping on a broken record, doing the same incompetent thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So really, this is just yet another example of the progressive left's never-ending performative theatrics. All they do is whine, virtue signal, and act like they're getting things done, when in reality, they have a very long history of doing absolutely nothing for the American people. Here's an idea. Maybe they should actually try improving the lives of everyday Americans for once instead of just petulantly crying about President Trump all day. But of course, we all know that is never going to happen. And now, folks, I feel like I just have to say this. There's something about this whole situation that really just doesn't sit right with me. You see, Representative Shri Thanedar wasn't even born a U.S. citizen. He was born in India. He immigrated to the United States and only became a citizen in his mid-20s. And honestly, between you and me, half the time I can barely even understand what this guy is saying because his Indian accent is so thick. And yet, he thinks that he has the authority to impeach the president that we, the American people, overwhelmingly voted for? Yeah, I don't think so, Mr. Thanedar. We all know that Representative Shri Thanadar's impeachment effort is nothing but a politically motivated stunt designed to undermine President Trump's legitimate authority. It's a complete disregard for the overwhelming mandate granted to him by the American people. Here's the reality. President Trump's massive landslide victory in 2024 delivered a crystal clear message. The American people want our country back. We want jobs, we want secure borders, we want fair trade, we want law and order, and leadership that actually cares about America, not leadership that puts MS-13 gang members ahead of American citizens. As you all know, President Trump's deportation policies are about protecting American citizens. They are about upholding our national sovereignty. They are about ensuring that we finally put America first, not cartel gang members, not illegal immigrants, and certainly not the radical left open border agenda that they have been pushing for years. And that is exactly why President Trump's America First agenda faces so much coordinated opposition from globalist billionaires, from corrupt politicians, and yes, even from incompetent progressive buffoons like Shri Thanedar. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the truth. Despite their ongoing attacks, despite their impeachment articles, and despite all of their weaponized lawfare, the truth is simple. The America First movement isn't going anywhere. We are only getting stronger. America First is inevitable. And so, you know what, folks? On a final note here, here's my controversial opinion of the day. If Indian Representative Shri Thanedar loves illegal immigrant MS-13 gang member terrorists so much, maybe he can leave the country along with them. Now, folks, before we wrap up with today's video, I want to say real quick that I've actually gone ahead and made a community Facebook page where I'll be posting additional news and updates as it relates to all of this. So if you guys use Facebook, check out the pinned comment down below and give that page a follow. But everyone, that is going to be a wrap for today's video, so please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. Please like the video while you're down there. As I said earlier, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle here on YouTube. Thank you all very much for tuning in today, and of course, as always, stay safe.